What if I told you that Prince Harry is miserable with Meghan Markle and that he regrets leaving his royal family because of her? What if I also told you that while he looks miserable in public whenever he's with Meghan and her mother, he looks cheerful and happy whenever he goes to the events alone? Even more juicy is that Harry looks miserable because he's not happy being the spare son, which is the title of his memoir, while Prince William gets to be the next king in line. Influenced by Meghan, his decision to leave Britain and royalty for a life of celebrity in the US is certainly not going as smoothly as he expected. But this is just the tip of it all. You won't believe some of the crazy royal secrets we're gonna tell you. In this video, we're gonna tell you everything you need to know about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's relationship, how they met, and why they split from the royal family. More importantly, we're also gonna show you how Prince Harry looks unhappy and depressed every time he's with Meghan, tell you the reasons behind his misery. This is the story of the reasons Prince Harry's miserable with Meghan Markle. Trust me, you don't want to miss this royal celebrity scandal. So stay tuned and let's get into it. You probably already know that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are one of the most famous and controversial couples in the world, with a history that is both romantic and dramatic. They met in July 2016 on a blind date set up by a mutual friend, and they hit it off right away. They kept their relationship secret for a few months until it was revealed by the media in October of 2016. They faced a lot of scrutiny and criticism, especially from the British press, who attacked Meghan for being an American, a divorcee, and a biracial actress. This would eventually be one of the reasons Harry abandoned his palace and moved to America, and a major reason he consistently looks depressed these days. We'll get into that later. They had a lavish and historic wedding in May 2018 at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. They were joined by celebrities, royals, and millions of viewers around the world who celebrated their love and happiness. They became the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and they seemed to have a fairy tale ending, or so it seems. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle faced a lot of challenges and difficulties, both within and outside the royal family. They had to deal with the pressure and expectations of being senior royals, the constant harassment and negativity from the media and the public. They also had to cope with the strained and complicated relationships with their families, especially with Prince Harry's brother Prince William and his father King Charles III. They felt isolated, unsupported, and unhappy, and so they decided to make a drastic change. In January 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle shocked the world by announcing that they wanted to step back from their royal duties and become financially independent. They also said they wanted to split their time between the UK and the US while pursuing their own projects and passions. They said that this was the best decision for their family and that they hoped to still have the support and respect of the Queen and the royal family. Oh, Queen Elizabeth was still very much alive back then. However, their plan did not go as smoothly as they had hoped. They faced a lot of backlash and criticism, both from the royal family and the public, who accused them of being selfish, disrespectful, and ungrateful. They also had to negotiate and compromise with the Queen, who agreed to let them go, but with some conditions. They had to give up their royal titles, their patronage, and their public funding. In case you're wondering what title, well, they're still the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, but they're no longer addressed by the title of His and Her Royal Highness. They also had to repay the money they spent on renovating their UK home, Frogmore Cottage. The renovation cost an estimated £2.4 million. They officially left the royal family on March 31, 2020, moved to California, where they bought a mansion in Montecito for $14.65 million. They started a new life in the US, where they signed multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and Spotify, and launched their own foundation, Archwell. They also spoke out about their experiences and feelings in a series of interviews, podcasts, documentaries, and a memoir where they revealed some shocking and controversial details about their time as royals and their reasons for leaving. They claimed that they were unhappy as royals and that they felt trapped, controlled, and silenced by the institution. They also said that they faced racism, sexism, and bullying from the media and the palace, and that they received no support or protection from the royal family against all of these abuses. They also accused some members of the royal family of being cold, distant, and insensitive, and of spreading lies and misinformation about them. They said they left the royal family to save their mental health and to protect their family from the toxic and harmful environment. But did they really find happiness and freedom in their new life? Or did they make a huge mistake that they now regret? Well, according to some sources and observers, Prince Harry is not happy with Meghan Markle. He's miserable and depressed in California. They say that he misses his old life and his family in the UK. This seems evident when you look at some of his most recent pictures and videos at events. In several of these pictures, you can see him looking gloomy and unhappy. In some others, he looks bored and generally uninterested. It has become a regular thing to the extent that insiders reported that Meghan now feels embarrassed by Prince Harry's continued look of unhappiness whenever they attend events. A particular instance that has now gone viral was when they attended Beyoncé's concert in September 2023. Despite the amazing performance by Beyoncé, the runaway prince looked like he would rather be anywhere else than there. Commenting on the prince's mood while at the concert, one fan joked, "You're supposed to be smiling, Harry. He's bored." Another fan who blames it all on Meghan, and while being sarcastic, also tweeted, "Prince Harry looks very, very happy. Even one of his eyes shows the excitement of the mockery his bride makes of him. She destroyed his royalty. He allowed himself to be deceived by her lies, but to continue that charade day after day is like bitterly grieving day after day." Examining a picture in which Harry pockets both hands with a glum face even though everyone else is having a great time, one can tell that he really is miserable at that point. Analyzing his posture and facial expression, one fan says, "I think he may be regretting some of his life choices." While Harry and Meghan would have us believe that they made the best decision to break free from the royal family and move to the US, some are not convinced. One fan commented, "Living his best life? I think body language says it all. They're over." The million-dollar question is, why are people blaming Meghan for all of Prince Harry's misery? Well, the main reason seems to be that people think she's the reason Prince Harry abandoned his royal duties and turned his back on a country for which he served 10 years in the military. Many believe that Harry's feeling miserable and will continue to feel miserable since he misses home and what he's known all his life, being a royal. Another factor that fans have noticed is that Doria, Meghan's mother, is always with the couple on all of their public outings. Many have said that this shows that Harry's mother-in-law is a clingy woman and probably an intrusive one as well. Some have said that they'll also be miserable if they have a clingy mother-in-law like Doria. But Meghan and Doria are not the only reason Prince Harry feels miserable. Based on the content of his memoir titled Spare, Harry has several grievances against several members of the royal family, and this is part of the reasons he left in the first place. According to him, his father, the king, was cold and didn't love him enough. He cited the instance of when his mother, Princess Diana, passed away when he was only 12. He says his father didn't even hug him or console him when he told him the news. Remember that it was reported that King Charles was already having an affair with the Queen Consort Camilla while he was still married to Harry's mother. Prince Harry and Queen Consort Camilla do not see eye to eye to date. Harry also has a grudge against his brother Prince William, who he says never treated him kindly enough. He recounts an occasion in which he says William screamed at him and knocked him to the ground. And when he requested help from his family to protect Meghan from the relentless British press who wouldn't let them breathe, he said his family did nothing. Another major reason Prince Harry continues to look miserable is that he's realized beyond all doubt that he is only a spare, which is why he titled his 2023 memoir, Spare. Being the spare refers to an old saying that states that a wife's job is to bear an heir and a spare, which is true for all aristocratic and royal families alike. That is, to have a first son who will inherit the titles and everything that goes along with it, and a second son who will act as the elder brother's spare if something were to happen to the heir. Think of a spare tire. Prince Harry writes in his memoir that, "I was 20 the first time I heard the story of what Pa allegedly said to Mummy the day of my birth. Wonderful, now you've given me an heir and a spare. My work is done." You can imagine how he must have felt. Prince Harry's now realized he's simply the spare and that he'll most probably never be the king, and he hates that fact. Though Meghan has asked him to stop embarrassing them with his constant look of unhappiness, Harry can't help it. Since he abandoned Britain and his royalty for her sake, many blame Meghan for their prince's unhappiness. But she's not the only person to blame, nor the only reason. His father, the king, his late grandmother, the queen, and his brother, the heir to the throne, are all responsible. In a scandalous memoir, Harry says his father is cold and distant, while his older brother is mean. All these combine and contribute to Prince Harry's unhappiness. Oh, his clingy mother-in-law may be another reason. This British prince is literally in a dilemma. He isn't enjoying his life in the US, as he misses home and his royalty, but he can't return home either, as he doesn't feel loved and supported by his family. At the end of the day, abandoning royalty in Britain for a life of celebrity in the US isn't worth it for him, or so it seems.